life and skit on the track. And ever living it for life, yo.
It's got to be.
Let's get into it before it's all over.
Millions of dollars could be on the line for the winner of the best damn heavyweight fight period between Vassiliy Jirov and Michael Moore, which is literally now just minutes away. We are back at the Chonga Resort and Casino, and we can actually see Vassiliy Jirov. He has arrived in the Grand Ballroom. He looks ready. The Tiger, just a pair of losses on his docket so far.
Yeah.
And we are ready. What are you doing? Are you dancing over there? He, of course, is facing a two-time heavyweight champion.
Look at his guns, man.
Moore.
He's got big arms.
Weighing in at 247 pounds. Chris Bird, the IBF heavyweight champ. What do you see here?
Well, I think Michael is just thinking he got to stay to a game plan. He knows this is his last chance to get to that heavyweight title, and just stay with a game plan and try to win the fight.
37 years old, guys. Do you think he's still hungry, John Sally?
I think he's very hungry, especially if you're going to come fight here. It's like starting it at the beginning and starting all over, and that's the hunger you really need. Those three years he took off don't count, so he's technically 34, I think.
Yeah, right. When you look at being 37, you have to be a smarter fighter, so maybe he doesn't need to exert as much energy. I just think he looks good. Bigger arms as I remember.
Yeah. And Brian Cox, you and John Sally also know, once you have been to the top, and then you're not there for a little while, you want to get back. Chris Bird, you're already at the top. Yep. So, of course, you know, the hunger's there for you. And we'll see whether or not it's there with Michael Moore. That's always been the question.
Yeah, Michael want to get there. I mean, this is his chance to get back in the spotlight, and he got to prove it tonight.
Once again, he says even at 247 pounds, he's in the best shape of his career physically and mentally. He is ready to go.
When did Barry Bonds start boxing? What happened? Jesus Christ.
Now we are getting ready to look at the Tiger.
Yes,
Vassiliy Jirov, born over in Kazakhstan. He has lived over in the United States since 1996 after winning Olympic gold in Atlanta.
There he comes.
Just his second fight as a heavyweight.
What do you mean? Yeah, that looks good. He's excited.
A lot of people like this guy because he's tough. I mean, he will work you.
Yeah, he's a very tough guy. But you're in the heavyweight division now. Toughness don't get you nowhere. You hear with that big punch, he can go out quick.
But he can take punches. I mean, we heard James Toney say that.
But you're in that heavyweight division. That's the thing about it. At cruiserweight, he fought James Toney, both 190. Now you're fighting a 247-pound big heavyweight.
And you know what? I remember when Michael Moore was hitting George Foreman, even though he got knocked down in that hit. He really was hitting George Foreman very hard back then.
So, guys, we are ready. Tom Arnold, you'll be scoring the fight, which, of course, will be called by the two men that are sitting ringside. Right now, let's send it down to Barry Tompkins and Sean O'Grady.
All right, thanks very much, Chris. Well, those guys say 4-1 that Moore is going to win this fight. Only Chris Rose thinks that Jirov will win the fight. Everybody's talking about this fight, of course, Sean, as a crossroads fight. I think really it's more than that. It's kind of a last hurrah kind of fight because the winner is going to be right back into the heavyweight picture, and the loser is going to fall into that category nobody wants to be in of opponent.
Oh, the loser not only loses the fight and goes home, he goes home and he quits, he retires, and never box again. What I think I'll see tonight, I think we'll see a real spectacular first 3 rounds. About the 4th round, I think the fight is going to subside, and at that point, I think that's when Vassiliy Jirov can take over. It'll be up to Michael Moore to crack it or take the play back, but I don't know if he can.
All right, let's take a look at the tail of the tape, see what the numbers tell us in this fight. And, of course, the number that does jump out, 37 years old, is Michael Moore. 46 up, 4 down, 36 knockouts. Jirov, of course, who fought most of his career either as a light heavyweight or a cruiserweight, does have 29 knockouts, but you can see he gives away 27 pounds, 29 pounds actually, I was never very good in math, to the former heavyweight champion, Michael Moore. With that, let's get to it. Here's the ring announcer, Lupe Contreras. Lupe?
Ladies and gentlemen, from the magnificent Pechanga Resort and Casino in Temecula, California, Goose and Tudor Promotions in association with Warriors Boxing Promotions and the Best Damn Sports Show period presents the Best Damn Heavyweight Fight period. These bouts are being sanctioned by the California State Athletic Commission. Chairman is Chris Mears. Vice Chairman is John Frierson. This bout scheduled for 12 rounds of boxing for the vacant WBA North American and vacant WBC Continental Americas Heavyweight Championships. Supervising for the WBC, Rudy Tejes. The judges scoring the bout are Dr. Lou Moret, Lou Filippo, and Raul Caiz. Our referee in charge is Pat Russell. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment has come to find out who is El Más Macho. Fighting out of the red corner, he steps into the ring wearing green trunks and weighing in at 247 pounds. His professional record, 46 victories, along with 4 defeats, 1 draw, and 36 of his victories coming by way of knockout. He is the former WBO light heavyweight, former IBF, WBA, and WBO heavyweight champion of the world. Currently ranked number 15 in the world by the IBF, ladies and gentlemen. Fighting out of Manhasset, Pennsylvania, Michael Moore. His opponent across the ring in the blue corner. He steps in wearing tiger striped trunks and weighing in at an official 218 pounds. As an amateur, he was named the most outstanding fighter of the 1996 Olympic Games. He also earned an Olympic gold medal for his homeland of Kazakhstan. And as a professional, he maintains an impressive record consisting of 33 victories, with just 2 losses, and 29 of his victories coming by way of knockout. Currently ranked number 13 in the world by the IBF, the former IBF Cruiserweight Champion of the world from Scottsdale, Arizona, Vassiliy Tiger Jirov.
Okay, gentlemen, here's the line right here with you, Michael. Here's the line right here with you, Vassiliy. 12-round championship fight. Touch up your gloves. Come out at the bell. Good luck. And with that, we take a look at the rules as they are. These are the WBC and WBA rules. A 10-point must system is in effect, of course, but no 3 knockdown rule nor any standing 8 count. A fighter cannot be saved with the bell in any round, including the final round. Either the referee or the doctor can stop the fight. The headbutt rule, we go to the cards after 4 rounds. So Michael Moore in the green, Vassiliy Jirov in the tiger stripes. Jirov gives away 29 pounds to Moore, who comes in at 247, but as he said, and most everybody agrees, it's a different 247 than he was when he was 251 the last fight. He does seem to be a little bit more fit. Early rounds important in this fight. You pointed that out, Sean.
Well, I think the first 3 rounds are going to be a barnstorm. Both of them trying to set the tempo and the pace of this fight. Then once they settle into it, that tempo will subside a bit about the 4th, 5th round. And I think that's a perfect opportunity for either fighter. You know, they both have great power.
Moore was telling us today that he feels that he can come up the middle against Jirov, that Jirov comes in wide. And so far, it's exactly what he's doing. He's had an effective jab early in this fight.
Well, the shortest distance between 2 points, Barry, is a straight line. That's what he's trying to track.
The other thing is Jirov seems to be stepping into Moore's punching range early in this fight. Maybe he thinks he can out-punch a puncher.
And it may be that when you're in there with a puncher, sometimes you want to prove to people, hey, I can take his shot. Not the good thing to do, though.
Moore working the right jab fairly well and keeping Jirov off of him so far. Jirov working the body. Not a bad idea.
Yeah, that'll zap the energy. That'll take the power away from your opponent. If he's a good right-hand puncher, hit him on that right side of his body. He won't be able to lift that elbow. Same thing with the left side. Michael Moore, 36 KOs in his 46 wins. Big puncher for Jirov, 29 KOs in his 33 wins.
So they both got pop, and they both have one-punch power, too. Again, a good left to the body, but coming up over the top is Moore. Very little to choose between these two in the first round.
Both trying to establish the power. Look at them mixing the attack from Tiger. Moore has a habit of just shuffling in there, just shuffling back and forth, and just sitting there, kind of rocking back and forth. You've got to get out of that rocking chair. You've got to throw punches, and if you're going to move like that, move your head side to side, bob and weave.
There you go. Good left to the body, and he got out of there. Moore's right hand whistled by him. Misses again. Jirov has said that Moore's power is when he's absolutely flat-footed. So if you circle him, he can't stand there flat-footed and really crank his punches. And that's what Jirov is trying to do here in the first round. Now he's moving from left to right. He's also come from right to left.
You should never stay in front of your opponent. Both of them southpaws. So they've got an obnoxious style. Difficult to face a left-hander.
That rocked him. A good right hand by Moore. And another one. And now Jirov, I would think, will have some respect for Moore here. I thought a very good first round, except for that last punch by Michael Moore. That is a very good first round for that man, Jirov. Let's take a look at the scouting reports. First, Michael Moore.
Busy first round for both fighters. Michael Moore on his stool, taking a breath. And Michael Moore, you know, on the fighter profile, he's patient and poised in the ring. Real savvy. He's questionable conditioning at times, and he wears a size 13 shoe. Why is that important? Well, the power comes from the mat, the ring, and the size of your foot, the foot pad. Vassiliy Jirov also has big feet, but here's the fighter profile. Olympic gold medalist in '96. He's a southpaw with an aggressive style. Former IBF cruiserweight champion. Two real champions. This should be an outstanding matchup.
Well, the right hand by Moore at the end of that first round definitely rocked Jirov, so we'll see now how he chooses to fight. He's got to have a little respect for that, at least early in this fight. Because it wasn't a particularly huge punch.
No, it was not, but the balance that Michael Moore has, again, the feet. When you build a house, you build it with a strong foundation, a good base. That's the way you want to build a fighter. And when you've got a fighter that's got size 13 shoe, there's more of a base there. Also has big hands. Why is that important? The big hands, larger target. And you can hit your target. Bigger weapon.
And Moore has always been a heavy-handed puncher. He was a heavy-handed puncher as a light heavy.
Pick up those hands, Michael. Give me a corner. Give me the wipe in this corner, coach.
One punch, knockout power. As does Vassiliy. Look at Vassiliy giving these angles. Circle your opponent. Keep him out of position. Jirov is a wily fighter in there.
Jirov feels that he did not fight the right fight against Joe Messi. Honestly, I thought that he really was the better fighter of the two in there, but he let Messi get ahead so far on points that even though he knocked him down 3 times in the last 2 rounds, he wasn't able to muster enough to win the fight on points. I think he wants to change that here.
Yeah, he said that was a really messy fight for him.
Thank you.
And he says, you know, I just started too late. That's why in this fight he promises to start earlier. And look at this circling from him. That is so effective.
That's exactly what Thel Torrance, his lead trainer, the man in his corner along with Hedgeman Lewis, he's got a lot of brain trust in that corner, I'll tell you that.
Those are outstanding trainers. Those are the Burgess Merediths of boxing. Yep. I mean, they can guide you through the fight. They can tell you how to win these battles.
Right now, he's got Moore following him around. You know, I just thought Jirov in the first round was the busier of the 2 fighters. Even though Moore rocked Jirov, I didn't think he did enough to win the round. The same thing's happening here.
I can see a case for that. And Moore has a way of making you fall asleep, lulling you into this false sense of security. So Jirov cannot fall for that.
Well, and as we said earlier, Moore has 1-punch knockout power. He can change the fight with 1 punch, much as he has had 1 punch change the fight the other way against him.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. But he normally takes a good shot. He's been knocked out a couple of times, but as long as he's focused. Where his problem comes is when he falls asleep in fights. And you do that, your trainers have to keep you motivated, keep you in the fight.
Jirov is outworking him here in the second round, much as he did, I believe, in the first round.
Listen for the bell.
Straight a little low.
Okay, put him up. Let's go.
Too low. Got to bring him up.
That's the end of the second round.
Tranquilo.
Michael Moore has had his moments, and here is a nice shot from him. Michael Moore.
I think that punch probably looked better at first blush than it really did. Looked like it caught him up on a shoulder to me.
Well,
Tom Arnold joins us now. Tom, I think the next round is the one you said Moore was going to whack him in, didn't you?
No, I said 6th round, guys. Pay attention to the show. I got to tell you, Michael Moore, I gave him that round, but Jirov, the Tiger, is doing a lot more cardio out there, and he doesn't sit down between rounds, which I've noticed. The only real 10 I've seen so far tonight is a ring girl. So I think they're sniffing each other like dogs at the park, and they're going to make their move. I hope one of them has a plan.
I think they probably both have a plan, and they're both executing it fairly well so far.
I think so. It's looking good.
Yeah, I think so
so
too.
early in this fight. You know, professional fighters don't start until the 3rd and 4th round to get their muscles loosened up, and the muscles start working, and the joints, and the knees, the bending the waist, everything starts working in 3rd or 4th round, and we are in the 3rd round.
I guess who's joined us here? Great pal of ours here on the Sunday Night Fights, and a great champion, of course. Talking about James Lights Out Tony, and pretty good. Hey, it's always great to see you.
Seeing a good scrap here.
This is a bunch of knees right here. This is an excellent fight, but I think right now I'm waiting for one of the fighters to impose their will on one another.
But Jirov kind of outworked Moore in the first 2 rounds.
The first 2 rounds with the Jirov, but I think Moore needs to, like I said, needs to wake up, get started. He got to get started where it was, because Jirov, the longer the fight goes, the better it is for Jirov.
Do you think Michael is waiting for that one big power punch?
Yeah, he almost got it right there.
Yeah. Oh, he can hit.
I think as soon as he hit Jirov, you're going to see a different tone in Jirov makeup. Like I said, Jirov is an extremely good fighter, you know, great pressure fighter. But now Michael got him out of his game. I've never seen Jirov go back so much in his career.
Well, also he's
like
real
respect.
busy. Do you think Jirov is out hustling Michael?
Yes, Jirov, he's definitely out hustling on the inside and outside. So what I think what Michael got to do, Michael got to step up his pace, more feints like he just did there. And when he's ducking, come back with something. Because Jirov is open for a lot of shots, especially on counter left and counter right hook.
Missing counter, blocking counter, ducking counter, right?
Definitely, because right there, up jab. They both trying to jab.
I thought Del Torrance, James, made an interesting point. We talked to him this morning. You know, he said he felt that if he kept circling, then Moore couldn't really settle down on his punches.
Exactly.
He'd have to get up on his toes, and that's what Jirov's doing. Pretty good fight plan, I think.
Yes, an excellent fight maker. Michael, like I said, he's a banger. He has to be set to throw the good shots.
Whoa! 2 banged heads.
Real clash of heads. And they're going to call that a knockdown. 7, 8, and he gets up.
The headbutt?
Headbutt. All right.
Is there any describing what that feels like, James?
Well, headbutt to me, I just got to shake it off and come back. Got to shake it off and come back. It doesn't matter, you know what I'm saying? You can't go down and whimper like that. This is a man's game.
They hurt more than a punch, don't they? Anytime?
They hurt. It's like his head crack.
Yeah, and Jirov has a cut on the top of his head.
Yeah, it's not headbutt. Let's prove it. He got the worst of the shebang, even though Michael Moore kicked him in and got the point deduction. I think that blood can play. If Michael, now you see the blood, he got to step it up.
Oh, sure.
He has to step it up.
And also, when you see your own blood like that.
Oh, yeah. Now Jirov was in the rage. Now he's going to try to get him out of there.
You haven't seen your blood very much, but I saw mine a lot.
Oh, yeah. Well, see, Sean.
Maybe you fight a lot.
You was in a great era. You were a great fighter.
Well, thank you.
Oh, my God.
How are you?
Well, that was a big round for Jirov, and I thought Jirov did the right thing because what he might have done there was substantiated a 10-8 round for himself.
Definitely. But all depends. I hope they don't stop the fight on the headbutt because it could be a technical draw.
Yeah, you hate to see that.
You know, it's high on the head of Moore. It's also kind of right on the point of the head of Jirov. Both of them moving in at the same time. Yeah. Both of them reaching for a hook. And boom, there it is.
I hate to see a fight like this come to an end like that.
Yeah, you don't want to see that. That cut is up on the top of the head, and the problem there is the blood comes down into your eyes and affects your vision. Right?
It comes down into your eye, and you can't see. But I think, if they got a great cut, man, they should be able to stop it.
And those are terribly difficult to stop, James, as you know, because coming up there is like your blood vessels and your skin.
Exactly. Unless you're bald head like me, you can really get to it.
Yeah.
John, got right to it. I know. I need to get my head bald here.
I don't know about you, but I got to get a jacket like that. You're looking great, man.
Thank you, man.
James Stoney. James, thanks for being with us. We look forward to seeing you.
Appreciate it. Y'all great team. Great team.
James Toney, one of the greats.
And a guy that really understood how to resurrect your career. I mean, that's something that these fighters today need to know. Some of the fighters we're watching tonight. Vassiliy Jirov and Michael Moore could utilize that as well. It's so important too, and it seems like your career, you fight in your ups and downs, the ebbs and flow of your career, as James knows. You gotta sometimes put it all together, go back to the basics, and do what was working for you in the first place.
I think now for Michael Moore, it's an uphill battle. It's not to say it can't be won.
Oh, those hurt.
I think
Body shots.
Jirov's getting pretty brave here.
He came in tonight with a great deal of confidence. When we talked to him today, Barry, he had no idea that he was going to do anything except control the fight from the first round on, from the onset.
He's been very sharp, and I think getting sharper.
Oh, yeah.
There's another headbutt up under the chin by Jirov. Blood continues to come down the face of Vassiliy Jirov from the scalp. And another headbutt.
You really got to watch your opponent's head. Wow, really put those hands up around your face.
He's leaning in with his head. There's no question about it. I mean, this could get ugly. It's already fairly ugly, but we could start getting points deducted, and we could even wind up in a DQ here. And that's, you don't want to see the fight end that.
No, never. Never. They have a rule in the amateurs that you can never let your head in front of your hands, in front of your guard. I wish the pros would adopt that, because your gloves would always be in the way of your heads coming together.
In the meantime, Jirov is really administering a beating right now to Michael Moore.
And I applaud him. He hasn't allowed the cut, the headbutts, to get him out of his focus.
There's the best punch of the fight by Jirov right there. Knock Moore backward.
You got to stay focused and concentrated. Even though you have a cut, even though you have blood streaming down your face, you really have to remember what your fight plan is. Sometimes that must change.
This is really more about what Jirov is doing than what Moore is not doing.
Yes. Michael needs to be busier. There you go. Those are combinations.
Every time he does, he gets Jirov going backward.
And it's so hard to knock out a fighter with one punch. He does have one punch power, but you get him hit with these easy punches. He lowers his guard, and then you can clock him.
Good body shot at the bell.
Ice pack. All right. Ice pack. Take a deep breath. Yeah. Okay, now look. I want you to box in this round like nothing has happened, okay? Stay real loose, like nothing happened. I want you to keep the jab going and keep pain with it, see? Yeah. Keep stepping around and keep busting him up with the jab. Okay. Don't get hurt. Now, when you pull out, make sure you pull out with your hands up, okay? Okay. And don't pull out in a straight round. Just pull out in a little angle.
Watch that head. Next time you're going to leave with the head. I'll box take your point from it, all right? You understand that? Don't leave with the head.
Okay, all right? Hit him with the knee, baby. Hit him with the free shot.
Wipe his arm with the sponge. Wipe it right there. Get
towel, neck. Good. Get his neck. Where my toe towel at, Rich?
I was using that towel for it. I don't know. They sleep. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Wait, keep him tight gloves, okay? Keep tight gloves.
Throw him down. Throw him down.
Tight gloves. Doing good. Doing good. Let's go. Hey. Hey, look.
Round number 5, and some serious intent in both corners.
Yeah. No drama here, huh? Man, both of them, both corners. Look, you see the caution. You know, you see what brings out the fighter in all of us. You know, you got cut. You're out there swinging. Talk about heart. Both of these kids have that.
And Jirov is fighting a very smart fight here.
Oh yeah.
He's starting to wear Moore down, I think. Now I respect Moore's power, and I still obviously have to stay to the game plan. But right now, it's been all Jirov.
Hey, the last thing any fighter loses is his power. Remember what Michael told us today in our meeting? He said, Jirov told us, I'm going to box Michael when he wants to fight. I'm going to fight him when he wants to box.
And Moore's getting angry because he feels there was another headbutt. I didn't see that one. Good shot, right hand.
right hook. That right hook is a dangerous weapon. It comes at you from an angle on the side where you're not paying attention. And it cracks you.
Jirov working the jab very consistently. It's not a powerful jab, but it's there, and it's in your face all the time.
And it's what's controlling the jab. You know how many times I've said the jab is the most important weapon? Look at him here. He's controlling the jab. If Michael were to jab with him, Michael might be able to steal the play away. But I think that is controlling this fight for Vassiliy Jirov.
That one was low again.
Oh,
caught him on the way in with a right hand. Jirov out-quicking Moore. He's just not allowing Moore to get off.
And Moore a little flat-footed here, feeling that 247 pounds. You know, he's had only 2 fights at this kind of weight, this heavy. One he won and one he lost. Look at these moves. Lateral movement. Just step around your opponent. Great job from Jirov.
I don't think you can make a case yet for Michael Moore having won a round. Maybe the first.
Yes, I agree with you. Michael has, and that's been the problem with Michael. He's sometimes, he's such a thinker. And we talked about it today. He really thinks a lot. Sometimes in these fights, if you think the opening's gone, you have to react. It's trained, it's conditioned.
Stop the bell, fellas.
Wild left hand by Jirov, but again, I think he did enough to win this round.
No punching, go back.
End of 5. Well, Tom Arnold joins us now. And Tom, how you seeing this fight? The Tiger looks to me like a Tiger.
He does look like a Tiger. I'm enjoying it, though. I'm a little nervous about Michael Moore. I think he's waiting for something big. But Tiger is still leading with his head, even with the injury. And I've had a couple of hair transplants, and I know how painful those are. So he's a brave guy. He's swinging a little low. I'm worried he's going to lose some points, but it's a good fight. And hopefully Michael Moore has a plan, because he hasn't enacted it yet. That's for darn sure.
I think that's true, and I think the other guy, as you said, has enacted it.
Exactly. So we'll see what happens. This is the round, though. This is it.
That's right. This is the one. This time I mean it. This is the one you predicted.
This is the one. Let's see what happens.
All right, Tom. Thanks very much. Tom Arnold, of course, with a knowing eye.
You know, and that may happen. I mean, it only takes, the great thing about these heavyweights is it only takes one opportunity. You drop your guard one time. Perhaps you get complacent. Jirov has to remain focused. Moore can land the big power. He does have it. And he wants to deliver it.
So this is round 6. Moore has just been unable to get off, and I think that has more to do with Jirov than anything else.
Of course it does. And Jirov, see how even though a lot of these punches that he is throwing, they don't have a lot of power to them from Vassiliy, but he's putting them in his face. You know, keep your opponent's eyes busy. Keep hitting him, and he can't hit you. Keep him on the defense. Hard to play that rock, scissors, paper in a glove, wouldn't it?
Can't do it. You have to be rock all the time.
Well, he's they both have rocks in their fists.
Don't hit that kidney, step back.
These two heavyweights.
I just think Jirov has come in here with an idea of what he wanted to do. And he's done it. Yeah. Triple jab right there. Triple jab again.
These jabs, so vital. You know, you use that jab too to steer your opponent. You put him out there, you put him where you want to put him, and then you nail him with the powerful cross. You know, boxers leave that cross behind them. Their power punch, it's their dominant hand, and they set it up with their passive punch.
Well, you heard the guys talking before about the longer this fight goes. Chris Bird, I think, was mentioning the longer the fight goes, and of course so is James Tunney. The more it is to Jirov's advantage, and not only is it going longer, but he's winning all around.
Sure, I believe that too. I believe that the longer it goes, the better. Jirov is always in terrific condition, and he's got a style that's difficult for somebody like Moore. Moore has to have somebody to hit, somebody to stand still.
Slip the left hand in, see what that does for his confidence, but he takes the left hand to the body in return.
Watch that head, Vassiliy. Watch that head. Don't lead with it.
That jab is really bothering Moore, I think.
Oh, yes, it is. Jab controls the fight. Now, there's a couple of ways you can steal that jab. Just out-jab your opponent is one, or you can go down to the body and make them stop reaching with that jab. You can counter the jab. You've got to control that jab, first of all. Great weapon for Jirov.
Missed with a short hook.
Strike one. You know, when you're carrying an extra 40 pounds,
I'll tell you, if I can interrupt, that left hand of the body just caused Moore's arm to come all the way down. That's obviously, he's obviously feeling those. And another good round for Jirov.
And he'll feel them tomorrow and the next day he'll feel them. Very smart. Well, it has been a really busy fight. Remember back in the first round, it was both of them kind of feeling out their opponent but going on the attack. They heated up quickly in the second round. Moore landed some good punches, but it was Jirov who came back and I think took control of that round. In that third, the two moving forward, banged heads, and boy, they both felt it. In the fourth round, they again were moving forward. Some of the blood coming down from Jirov and a headbutt again. Michael Moore getting the worst of that one. In the fifth round, really intense and trying to go downstairs to the body and too low from Vassiliy Jirov. And there is Michael Moore still wondering when he's going to kick in gear. Let those hands fly. You know, when you're carrying extra weight like that, you tend to pose. Stand there and pose and wait for the openings.
But again, I don't think it's so much the conditioning of Michael Moore or the lack of conditioning. I think he probably is certainly in better shape than he was in his last fight. I just really think that what Jirov is doing here is just keeping him completely off balance.
No doubt. No doubt. Power is so important, and power rules in the sport of boxing. But the quickness and speed will beat power.
You can see the power in that jab of Michael Moore when he throws it. It's a powerful jab. But it's hard to out-jab a jabber.
Well, he's got a good jab. Michael Moore does. He obviously boxes from a southpaw stance, but he's naturally right-handed. So he has a lot of power in that right jab.
Left hook by Jirov.
Watch that head.
And Jirov cannot get sloppy here.
Cut over the eye of Jirov now. I think that was from that last little sort of mini headbutt. It's on the side of the eye.
By a butt.
And the referee is saying, Pat Russell, that it is the result of a headbutt. Of course, we're past the 4 rounds now. Should they stop the fight, they'd go to the cards.
And he is wiping at that cut. Having been cut many times, you don't know when you're cut. You feel the effects of it like a headbutt or something, or even a punch sometimes, but you don't know that you're cut until you can feel the blood dripping down your face, or your corner tells you.
And what it's done is it's made Moore a little braver here. And Moore is sensing something.
Oh, yeah. Maybe that's what he needed. A little bit of confidence.
That blood is coming down with some consistency here. They got some work to do in Jirov's corner. And all of a sudden, Moore gets on the attack a little bit here.
And the crowd hears it. They see it. This is an astute boxing crowd. They've seen some big fights. They know when the tension is there, and they care.
I think, though, that much as Jirov let Misi get away with the fight early, I think that's what Moore has done here. So I think if he's going to win the fight, he's going to have to whack it. A much better round for Moore, despite Jirov having had his moments.
Stop the bell.
Jirov, a bloody mess.
And And there's some serious work to be done in the corner of Vassiliy Jirov. Gonna get a chance to see the headbutt here. There it is. It wasn't as serious as the other headbutts.
No, but I think he's been taking several headbutts over on that eye, just the way he stands and the way he turns.
Well, Tom Arnold, looks like the worm is turning a little bit here.
Well, it seems like it a little bit, but you know, with the Tiger, his style, he always seems like he's kind of staggered a little bit. But hopefully that blood won't stop the fight, and they'll just let it keep on going so we can see a full fight, because these guys both have a lot left in them, I think.
Yeah, I think this fight has really gone not exactly like we all thought it might. I think it's not only gone into the later rounds, but it's still, both these guys still pretty active into the later rounds.
Well, it's funny how this last round started off slow. It was boring. It wasn't as exciting as rock, paper, scissors, and then, you know, it turns out great.
Yeah, so far it really is. I gave more of that last round as the first round I gave it.
Me too. And the last round, as you said. They did a nice job working on that cut. It is a vertical cut, which would be more indicative of a headbutt as opposed to a horizontal cut. And they've done a nice job of tending to that cut. What they use in there sometimes is Avitine, or they use thrombin 1 to 1,000, thrombin topical. Try to stop the bleeding. They've got to stop the bleeding. If the blood goes into the eye and impairs the vision, that's when the doctor will stop the fight.
Right now, I don't think that cut is serious enough to stop the fight. And that said, underneath the left eye of Michael Moore, there's a pretty good swelling, too.
Right, but it's underneath the eye.
No, that's right.
No, they might close the eye, but it wouldn't stop it for the swelling unless it absolutely closes the eye.
No, that's right. I'm not suggesting they would, but it could cause more of a problem as this fight goes on.
Boy, look at this confidence from Moore. All of a sudden.
Barry Tompkins, the champ, Sean O'Grady alongside, telling you about it. And of course, all the guys from the Best Damn Sports Show, period. Tom Arnold, Chris Rose, John Sally, Brian Cox.
Good to see them enjoying this fight. When they get into it, it really, you know, kind of pumps me up too. And they have gotten into this fight for good reason.
This fight, of course, is a 12-round fight. It is for a championship of a sort. The bottom line is what it does is it propels the winner right into the heavyweight championship picture, where they can start thinking about guys like the guy alongside us, James Toney, and the guy up there on the set, Chris Bird. There's another headbutt. They're going to take a point away from Jirov.
Let's go.
Yes, and for those of you that remember or that have just joined us, this is the Michael Moore that fought George Foreman.
That's right.
Watch that head. George Foreman came back after 10 years to win a heavyweight championship of the world.
Well, you know, the other thing now, they took the point away from Jirov. So if Moore goes on and wins this round, all of a sudden he's got a 10-8 round, and the whole complexion of the fight changes.
Back in the fight.
The right hand from Jirov.
You know, that's what's so exciting about this heavyweight division. One punch changes everything.
Now, Jirov absolutely cannot afford any more headbutts.
No place else he can get a cut.
Well, that too.
He's cut everywhere.
That too, but I think he's toying with a DQ if he gets another one.
Yeah, that
good uppercut by Moore. Back Jirov off.
Where was this in the first round? The first few rounds for Moore.
Watch those heads.
You know, Michael Moore has had incredible talent.
Now it's Jirov on the attack, and now Moore answers. And a right hand by Jirov.
What a brawl.
And a right hand by Jirov again. Now it's Moore that's going backward at the bell. And honestly, I don't know who won that round.
That one was a back-and-forth battle, especially toward the end. It built to a crescendo. Both of them realizing they want that round.
Oh, he got it right. Okay.
Here's how it started. Two banging heads there, right there. See Jirov moving in with it. And the uppercut did a lot of damage to Jirov. Later in the round, Jirov trying to keep the attack on, pressing the attack. And here's the flurry from Jirov toward the end of the round. And Michael Moore said, no, I need to steal it back. Hard round to judge. Very close.
I gave the round to Jirov, which means on my card it's a 9-9 round because he had a point taken away.
and I gave it to Moore. But, you know, there are those judges that give more credence to aggressiveness, and I think Jirov in that round, where I saw he was more aggressive.
That's an either-way round, though. That's very tough round.
That's how close it was. Oh, and you learn so much about your opponent. In a 12-round fight, you learn everything about your adversary. You know him.
This is round 9.
You know what kind of guy he is. You know how he thinks. You're concentrated. You're so focused. You're so in tune with your opponent. You play off his mistakes. You dance with him. No, that looks like another try to headbutt. That's a wrong move. Vassiliy Jirov has got to get rid of that move right there. See where he just ducked his head and walked in?
Free him up. Free up those hands.
He's got to stop that kind of move.
I think he has to be very careful.
Couple of jabs from Jirov. Where was that jab in the last round? You know, Jirov, I talked about it earlier in this fight, how he's controlling with that jab.
Jirov is also getting a little lazy with that right arm. It's down at his hip.
Yes, it is. Oh, slapping left hand from Jirov.
Watch that head.
There was another little headbutt in there.
Oh, another.
Jirov doing good work. The Moore is back to the ropes, and again using his head.
Put a boxing glove on the top of his head.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to be careful. He's about to lose another point, and it's not out of the question he could get DQ. Moore fights off the ropes with a good right hand. Whoa. And a good left hand by Moore. Jirov trying to fight back, and a left hand by Moore.
Jirov getting up quickly. That's a dangerous thing to do.
Would have been smarter to stay down. This may be over.
Take an 8 count.
May be over.
No, that fight's over.
It's over. That ruined him. Michael Moore out of nowhere.
He did exactly what he needed to do. He did a George Foreman on Vassiliy Jirov. And we just finished saying he was dropping that right hand, which made him susceptible to the left hand of Moore.
Take the gloves off. Take them off.
That's a big, big win for Michael Moore, and what a comeback win, because he was, on my card, he was behind 6 points.
A huge win, and he has resurrected his career with that punch. You know, we said he's got the power, and I felt like he was always dangerous. But Jirov, still a bit bemused. When he jumped up after being knocked down, it really worked to his detriment, because all of a sudden he started wobbling. What you're taught to do in training is to get up to one knee, take an 8 count, and then stand up. But you're not thinking cognitively. Michael Moore has resurrected his career. He's got to be so excited. He came in here with great confidence tonight.
I don't think there's any question about it. And it was a very different 247 pounds that he came in with. You're Brian Cox saying that he was a teammate of Richard Hogan's, who was not his trainer, but rather his weight guy, and he physical trainer. And he worked with him on the physical part of it, and of course his corner did the training for the fight. And Michael Moore, while he was way behind in this fight, in my opinion, I'll be interested to see the judges' cards, but left no doubt about it with that left hand.
And here's where the mistake happened for Vassiliy. Trying to stand up, just stay on one knee. The problem is it's hard to teach somebody how to do that, because you're not thinking cognitively at that point. You're hurt, you're knocked out, you're fading in and out of consciousness. And referee Pat Russell said that's enough, that's all. Once again, Jirov on the attack. His hands have come down, you're right.
Absolutely.
And boom. Lowering the boom is Michael Moore.
Look where his right hand is, down at his hip.
And jumping up.
Well, a huge win for Michael Moore, and needless to say, a very disappointed Vassiliy Jirov. He did everything right except win the fight.
Michael Moore back in the picture.
Very much back in the picture. In fact, James Tunney was right over here talking to Michael Moore just a moment ago. I'm sure he's going to talk a little bit more as this night goes on, and we're coming back after this. We welcome you back. There's a champ and a wannabe champ. Let's go to another champ. Here's Tom Arnold. Tom, how'd you see it?
Guys, I had a 75-71 Jirov till that last round. It was a hell of a fight, though. And that's the thing. You never know what's going to happen. We got this guy's making a speech here. David did the announcement, but it was a great fight. Michael Moore is definitely back.
Yeah, it really was. Terrific fight. And boy,
both guys kicked ass.
Turnaround. Absolutely. Absolutely right. Right now, let's make it official. Here's Lupe Contreras. Lupe?
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, referee Pat Russell stops the bout with an official time of 2 minutes, 8 seconds of round number 9. Your winner, by way of knockout, and now WBA North American and WBC Continental America's heavyweight champion, Michael Moore.
Well, I don't think there's any question. Michael Moore will get another fight, and it'll be a money fight, and it'll be a championship fight, very likely.
Well, he just made some money tonight trying to establish himself, and he did. Here's what he did. In one punch, one round, he turned the tide in this fight, and he told other heavyweights, hey, I'm still out here, and I'm a force to be reckoned with. Look at the hands coming down of Jirov, and while he's ducking into this punch, he just catches it. Oh, when you get hit, your legs like leave the building, and that's what happened. Now look at his leg. When he stood up like he did, you could see how hurt he was. Pat Russell, the referee, made absolutely the right call. That's it. Yeah, that's over.
No question about it. And your point is really well taken, Joe. Let's go right now.
Hey,
Tom Arnold's with the winner, Tom.
Hey, guys, congratulations. You're back, Michael. How's it feel?
Feels great. First of all, thank God. Second of all, I want to thank Richard Hogan's Warriors Boxing.
That's right.
That put me in their corner.
Yep.
The Seminole Tribe of Florida.
Yeah.
I thank Chill. I thank everybody. My son and my daughter at home.
Yep.
Buddha, Daddy coming to see you, boo.
Daddy coming. All right, let me ask you this. All the experts had it backwards. They said the longer the fight lasted, the less chance you had. You got stronger and stronger. Why is that?
Richard Hogan's. He worked my behind off down in Memphis. And this Rich right here.
Hey, Rich, what's up, brother?
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, mate. But he did a hell of a good job. And the headbutting, I got to say, the headbutting, that's crazy to headbutt you. Your head is the size of a space helmet.
Let's talk about yours now.
Yeah, exactly. But congratulations. It feels good?
Yeah, it feels great. Once again, I'm back.
What's next?
I guess just shut all the critics up. Let's say 37. If you feel you're 37, then you're 37. I feel like I'm 25.
Yeah. So it
was a tough fight. You got to give.
Yeah, you got to give him credit. He was tough. He was tough.
Yeah.
But look at the monitor. There you are. Let's check this out here.
Left hand.
Bam.
I remember.
Yeah.
Because I saw it leaning his head, and right there.
Did you know? You knew
right
it?
there. I knew because I landed. I felt it.
You think he tried to get up too quick?
No, I mean he was out. It was a perfect shot.
Wow.
I felt it. You know, boxers, they feel it right on their knuckles.
And how do you rate the Tiger and all the fighters you fought as far as toughness?
Oh, he's a tough guy. I mean, tough. I fought the Russians as an amateur. I knew he was going to be tough. I seen him fight, and I knew he was going to be tough.
You know, 10 years ago, I was at the Foreman fight, the exact opposite of this. You were kicking his butt, bam. This one was the exact opposite. How does it feel to be 10 years later still here?
Well, it really doesn't matter about 10 years. What happened, what's important is right now.
That's what I say about my ex-wife, too. All right. Thank you very much. Barry.
All right. Thanks very much, Tom.
Hi to everybody back in Menneson.
Yes.
We did it once again.
Yes, again. Yes, sir.
All right, Tom, thanks very much. And that's a guy who we're going to be seeing more of in the heavyweight division. There's no question about it. Michael Moore, soft-spoken guy, very bright guy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and he was thinking too much. You know, we talked about it during the fight, but he really is a smart, articulate guy. And I hope that in his next fight, though, he starts earlier, because tonight he was really strong in that final round.
All right, we're going back up at the center of the ring. Tom Arnold now with, I'm sure, a disappointed Vassiliy Jirov. Tom?
Yes, how are you feeling?
I feel good, actually. And it was a good fight, you know. It was a little bit dirty fight, but you know what? It was a good fight.
And when you say dirty fight, you mean the headbutting and the low blows?
Headbutts, you know, he punched me a few times in the back of my head, you know, before I fall down, you know. It's all bring it to the stand.
But at the end, you were done. I mean, you were wobbly, you were done. You jumped off awful quick. I thought you should have stayed down, but we got it right here. We're going to show you what happened. We're going to show you what happened here. Describe what you're feeling here. Oh, that hurt. Yeah, that hurt. And there, but you got it back there. There you go. See how quick you try to get up?
Yeah.
And your legs just wouldn't come back, am I right?
Yeah, a little bit. You know, I never was knockout, you know, so it's first time.
Do you think the refs, do you think it should have gone on? Do you think they called it a little early?
You know what, I could fight more, you know, but whatever referee did, he did right decision for him, you know.
I'd look at the cuts in your head. How bad do they feel? And my wife knows a great plastic surgeon if you want me to recommend it.
Thank you, it's okay.
Yeah, okay, we'll get you all fixed up and you'll be back, am I right?
Oh yeah, I'll be back and I want a rematch.
It's just going to make you stronger. Barry, back to you.
Thank you very much, Tom. And I'll tell you what, that's a tough interview to do.
Oh, man.
I thought Tom handled that really well.
And if it's hard for a fighter to do, also, I've done it before. After you lose a fight, this is why he lost the fight. Look at this. He was coming on, too. It looked as though Tiger was in there. He was aggressive. It looked as though Michael Moore was falling asleep. And in the middle rounds, Michael just trying to hang in there. He's fighting back when he has to. Not really pouring on the pressure.
But now in the 9th round, watch, he drops his head and his right arm had been down at his side right from the beginning of that round, and a big left hand, and as Michael Moore said, he knew it immediately.
And correct, even when he got hit, Jirov still trying to throw a punch. Look, he's out, and he's trying to throw that right hook, the right uppercut.
Well, there's your
Michael
winner.
Moore.
Michael Moore, he wins it. He's right back in a heavyweight picture. And, you know, he thanked his physical trainer, and I think he did so with good reason. As we said, last time he was 251 and out of shape, and he lost the fight. This time he was 247 in shape, and he won the fight. He is a guy you got to think about now when you start thinking about who's next in the heavyweight division. And a couple of interested guys here, of course, James Toney and Chris Bird. We're going to take you back to the best damn sports show, period, after this.